now with that, with the amount of games that you guys are looking at coming out, and like, because the truth is, in business in general, let's take away Web3, let's take away Web2, all of that, right? Just business. A lot of startups fail. I forget what the percentage is, but a lot of startups fail. So with all of these games coming out, like, and we can see with games today, right? A lot of games kind of come in with a big hype, and they die out in a couple of months. It just is the
Right.
way games kind of work out right
I-
now. The gamers are the same way.
Yeah, I mean, look at Red Dead Redemption 2. Like how quickly, like that game was so anticipated, and it faded
Yeah.
off and died so quickly.
Yeah, I actually didn't play it, but yeah, did it actually die so quickly? Because I know the
Oh
hype was
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. The hype exactly was unbelievable. It was like almost comparable to like if GTA 6 was gonna be released like next month, because
Yeah.
Rockstar did Red Dead Redemption, and it was
Yeah.
quite a while since they released Red Dead Redemption 1, and everything just looked so good, and the game was a lot of fun to play. Like the storyline was really really good, but people played through like the story like the campaign in like a month or so, or like quicker.
A month,
And
that's
then
a
they
long
were
time.
released.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely quicker. But and then they were releasing the online version of it where you could play with your friends and stuff, which I was super excited about, but it just really never like worked out, and the game faded out and died.
Actually, okay, so I was gonna take this a different direction with saying, all right, out of all these games coming out, we know that this is just the way the games are, and like we're gonna move on, right? So, and a lot of them just fail because of this. But what I'm gonna ask now is, with that being the case, what do you think? Because if we're seeing this happen in Web2 gaming, what do you think Web3 games or studios are gonna have to do to actually hold the attention of the consumers or the players? Because that's something that's gonna be super important. And I don't really have a solution off the top of my head, but I'm curious, like, are there any aspects that you guys think are absolutely necessary for studios to implement to achieve this? Because it seems even Web2 gaming studios are struggling with this. What do you guys? I don't know who wants to take that.
Will, what do
Yeah,
you think?
I can start off. Yeah, I believe like there has to be, because I know whenever I game, whenever I feel like it's pointless, like grinding, it doesn't feel good for me. So I think if you're able to incorporate in the best possible way NFTs into the game, whether it be skins or weapons or whatever, I think more than just skins, like there has to be an actual grind. Like let's say you're playing RuneScape, for example, and you're able to like grind up and get a whip, and that's an NFT, and then you go for all the god swords and whatever. So I think like if you're able to really implement NFTs into the game, where it's like really addictive, like really addicting, because like there's a grind to it, and you can like make money from it, or like actually like upgrade your weapons, level up your characters, sell the characters. Like how a game is able to incorporate NFTs into the game, I think will be key, and how simple it will be as well, because Web2 gamers won't care about the NFTs unless it's like really simple. Well, you have to own 20 like Shiba coins. Like, no, they're not gonna buy, like they won't be doing that, Like I think incorporating NFTs in the best way will keep gamers playing the game.
Yeah. I just want to dive a little bit deeper into that. Like, I agree with you, but why? Like, what is the psychology behind having NFTs done properly? Why NFTs? Why are NFTs the key to making this actually, like, why is it so important to do that?
I think it's just because it can be really, really addicting. Like that's what it boils down to for me. Like grinding out, doing the progress, and it actually feels like you're getting like rewarded. You're doing something useful, because so many times when I'm gaming, it's like, why am I sitting here playing for hours and hours and hours, and then it's like it's gone. Like I could have done something like less wasteful with my time, But if there's actually some element where you feel like you're getting shit done when you're gaming, I feel like it's going to be worth it more, and you will keep players playing.
Yeah.
What do you
I think it comes back to that ownership point, and the in my mind, 100% the main selling point of Web3 games is that you finally get to own your own assets. And if you think about this compared to other hobbies, I was talking with my wife about this last night. If you are a carpenter or you're a gardener or whatever, when you actually pursue a hobby, whatever you produce from that hobby, a painting or a table or some food, you own that, right? No one can take it back from you after you build that thing. Gaming is one of the only hobbies where you're actually producing something. Yes, it's virtual, but it absolutely is still production, that you don't own that own asset. And so with Web3, you have the ability to actually keep that thing that you're doing. And Will, that's what you kind of, alluded to, is if I'm producing something that I actually can keep, instead of the gaming studio just taking it away as soon as I'm done, like that feels different. So I think Web3 games, they're actually going to have a higher initial acceptance rate, where players, when they get in, they're going to want to stay with it for longer at the start. I do think an interesting, kind of parallel, though, is once they get done with the game and they're ready to, finish, it's easier for them to sell out, because literally they can sell all their assets that they've obtained and kind of cash out of the game and move on to the next one.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well said.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think for me, that's legitimately like the appeal for Web3 or gaming in Web3. I don't even know what to say it. Gaming, the appeal to me for gaming on the block. Yo, you see what I did there? You see what I did there? Yeah,
absolutely.
That's why you're on the podcast, bro. You're so clever.
Now, the appeal for me is the ownership, right?
I agree with you, and that's what I wanted to say too. Like, if I'm sitting here and I'm gaming, I don't want it to be gone in a week, or I don't like new season or whatever, or I'm playing on a server and then I have to switch server, whatever you're playing, and it's just gone. Like you say, like you're watching a movie, you do it because it's really, really entertaining, but you don't really get anything out of it most of the times. Same thing with gaming, like it's really, really entertaining, but what if you could get something out of it as well? I like that.
Yeah, and I think one of the initial reasons a lot of gamers are critical of Web3 is Web3 development studios, they started going too far. So what I always like to remind people, if the scale goes from not owning your own assets, which is what is the case in normal Web 2 today, the opposite of that is not making $1 million. The opposite is just owning your own assets. You're talking about an entirely different structure if you want to actually earn money from playing games. And so, I think actual Web3 gaming doesn't require earnings. It just requires ownership.